July 10, 1940. Dawn over the English Channel. 100 German bombers thunder toward Britain, black crosses on wings that conquered Europe in months. Below, Fighter Command scrambles every Spitfire they have, young pilots climbing into cockpits knowing the odds. 2,550 Luftwaffe aircraft versus 600 RAF fighters. It's the Battle of Britain, the first war decided purely in the skies, and if the RAF breaks, Operation Sea Lion launches and Britain falls. But what happens when 3 weapons from 2025 appear on British soil, invisible to radar, capable of erasing bomber formations before they reach the coast? Can the future stop an invasion? Or does 1940 strangle 2025 before it matters? Sitting next to Britain's chain-home radar stations are 3 Patriot missile batteries. Each one packs 6 M903 launchers loaded with 12 PAC-3 MSE interceptors, hit-to-kill missiles with 25-mile range against targets moving at speeds a modern car could match. The AN/MPQ-65 radar can track over 100 aircraft simultaneously and guide 9 missiles at once. When a German bomber crosses the French coast 70 miles away, the system has already calculated its intercept solution, prioritized targets by formation density, and decided which aircraft die first. The pilots don't know it yet, but they're flying into a technological gap wider than the channel itself. Oberleutnant Klaus Hoffmann adjusts his oxygen mask as his Heinkel. He 111 climbs to 12,000 feet. Behind him, 47 more bombers hold tight formation, their target RAF Biggin Hill. Hoffmann has flown 23 missions over Poland and France. He's good at his job, and his job is turning airfields into craters. At 30 miles from the English coast, the first PAC-3 MSE launches. Hoffmann sees nothing. No fighter intercept, no anti-aircraft bursts, just summer sky and bomber formations stretching to the horizon. Then the aircraft 3 positions ahead simply explodes. Not hit by flak, not shot down by fighters. 1 second it's there, the next it's aluminum confetti tumbling toward the channel. Before Hoffmann's brain processes what happened, 3 more bombers disintegrate in perfect sequence, spaced kills as the Patriot system methodically erases the formation's lead elements. His radio explodes with panicked German. Pilots screaming about attacks from nowhere, explosions without warning, invisible weapons striking from impossible ranges. Some dive for cloud cover that won't save them. Others climb desperately for altitude that won't matter. The AN/MPQ-65 tracks every evasive maneuver and launches another salvo. 6 more bombers vanish in 4 seconds. Hoffmann throws his Heinkel into a banking turn, abandoning the mission, abandoning formation discipline, abandoning everything except survival. Within 4 minutes, 18 of 48 bombers are gone, and the survivors flee toward France at full throttle. They're burning fuel they need for the return trip. But none of them care, because staying in English airspace means death from weapons they can't see or fight. Hermann Göring receives the after-action reports in his luxury rail car and assumes his pilots are incompetent cowards. He orders more raids. 3 massive daylight attacks over the next week, waves of bombers supported by fighter escorts, the full weight of the Luftwaffe thrown at southern England. The Patriot batteries positioned around RAF Biggin Hill, Manston, and London systematically shred every formation. Hit probability against non-maneuvering bombers exceeds 85%. Mathematics becomes massacre. Bomber groups that conquered Poland with 2% losses suddenly take 40% casualties before reaching their targets. Veteran pilots who fought over Warsaw and Rotterdam watch squadron mates explode for reasons their training never covered. Some refuse to fly. Others request transfers to any front that doesn't involve invisible death. Ground crews paint good luck charms on bomber fuselages that won't matter against missiles guided by computers and radar. After losing over 200 bombers in 2 weeks, the Luftwaffe adapts. They abandon daylight strategic bombing entirely, switching to night raids flown low and dispersed. No more neat formations, no more predictable altitudes, no more easy target solutions for Patriot systems. The batteries still detect them. The AN/MPQ-65 sees at night better than Chainholm sees in daylight, but engagement windows narrow. Hit rates drop to 40% as scattered formations and darkness complicate intercepts. More importantly, German reconnaissance flights locate two battery positions. Raids shift focus, not to destroy fighter command anymore, but to strangle Patriot logistics. Bombing runs target fuel depots, suspected missile storage, rail lines feeding the batteries. The Luftwaffe can't kill the systems with 1940 technology. No anti-radiation missiles, no precision bombs, no CAD doctrine exists yet, so they try to starve them instead. And here's where Britain's miracle weapon becomes Britain's strategic nightmare. Each PAC-3 MSE costs over $2 million. The batteries burn through interceptors because German adaptation forces defensive firing. Salvo doctrine means 2 missiles per target to ensure kills. After 3 weeks, the batteries are down to 60% ammunition with no way to manufacture more. Fighter command has been preserved. Young pilots who should be dead are still flying. Airfields that should be cratered remain operational. But the Luftwaffe discovered something crucial. You can't invade Britain while Patriot batteries are active, but you can make Britain spend everything protecting those batteries. Night bombers bypass defended airfields entirely, hitting rail yards, supply depots, port facilities instead. Civilian infrastructure takes increased damage as targeting disperses. The batteries can't be everywhere, and limited ammunition forces impossible choices. Protect airfields or protect the supply chain feeding your own defense? Defend cities or defend the systems defending cities? By September 1940, Operation Sea Lion is postponed indefinitely. The Luftwaffe never achieved daylight air superiority because Patriot batteries made daylight bombing suicidal. But the war hasn't ended. It's transformed into grinding night logistics warfare versus finite modern ammunition. British planners realized they'd traded a quick, decisive air battle for a prolonged protection nightmare. Each battery needs security, supply lines, ammunition management, maintenance that can't be performed with 1940 technology. Resources that should rebuild bombed cities now flow to guarding 3 missile systems, representing both Britain's greatest advantage and greatest vulnerability. A German intelligence officer in occupied France writes that they're no longer fighting to invade Britain. They're fighting to make Britain regret having an invincible shield that demands eternal guarding. December 1940. The Patriot battery near Biggin Hill that saved Fighter Command in July sits surrounded by sandbags and home guard positions. Missile count down to 40%. Radar scanning skies where German bombers no longer dare fly in daylight. The base commander watches another night raid bypass his airfield entirely to hit railway infrastructure 15 miles away. He understands the equation perfectly. Britain bought an umbrella strong enough to stop any storm, and now they're spending the entire war making sure nobody steals it. The Patriot system saved Fighter Command, prevented an invasion, bought Britain time to breathe. But they became the war's center of gravity. 3 batteries that can delete bomber formations, but demand an entire operational infrastructure just to keep existing. Modern technology didn't win World War II early. It just changed which logistics chain everybody's fighting over. Or what do you think would happen? Could 3 batteries really alter the Battle of Britain? Or would 1940 logistics strangle 2025 technology before it mattered? Drop your take in the comments. And if you want to see what happens when a modern destroyer fights at Midway, hit subscribe. The future doesn't always beat the past. Sometimes it just creates weirder problems.